Why millionaires go to Buddhist monks to find happiness. Consider why some millionaires choose to spend time with Buddhist monks. Reflect on this for a moment. These individuals already possess what most people spend decades pursuing: money, success, status. Yet many eventually seek fulfillment in entirely different ways. Not for more wealth, but for peace, for meaning, for freedom. After achieving financial success, they often realize a truth that many overlook. The purpose of money is not money. The purpose of money is not to accumulate numbers on a screen. The true purpose of money is to buy back your time. Time to spend with your family. Time to pursue meaningful work. Time to learn, create, travel, and live on your own terms. Many people spend their entire lives chasing more money without realizing that money itself is only a tool. The ultimate goal is freedom. Freedom from financial stress. Freedom from dependence on a paycheck. Freedom to choose how you spend the limited time you have. Once you understand that money is simply a vehicle for time freedom, your priorities begin to change. You stop asking, "How can I make more money?" and start asking, "How can I build a life where my money gives me more time?" Chapter 1. The Money Trap. Many people spend their lives focused on pursuing money. They work harder, earn more, buy larger homes, upgrade their cars, and take on larger mortgages. This cycle repeats. For many, it never ends. Interestingly, many people achieve the goals they once aspired to, yet they remain unsatisfied. But why? They pursue money when in reality they seek freedom. There is an old story about a businessman and a fisherman. One day, a businessman saw a fisherman relaxing on a beach. The fisherman had already caught enough fish for the day and was enjoying the sunset. The businessman asked, "Why aren't you working harder?" The fisherman smiled. "What for?" The businessman explained. "If you work harder, you can catch more fish. And then, you can buy bigger boats. And then," said the fisherman, "you can build a fishing company. And," said the fisherman, "you can become rich. And then again," said the fisherman. "And then," the businessman replied, "then you can retire and spend your days relaxing on a beach." The fisherman smiled and asked, "What do you think I'm doing right now?" This story may seem simple. However, it offers a valuable lesson about money. Many people spend their lives pursuing something already within their reach. The ability to enjoy life, the ability to slow down, the ability to appreciate the present moment. They postpone happiness. They postpone freedom. They postpone living. They assume that more money will eventually resolve all problems. However, it often creates new challenges. This is the money trap. Each raise leads to increased spending. Every promotion increases your responsibilities. Every success increases your obligations. Until one day you realize you own many things, but very little time. And time is the one asset that cannot be replaced. You can lose money and earn it back. You cannot lose 10 years and earn them back. That realization changes everything. Because wealth is not simply about money. Wealth is about options. And options come from controlling your time. Chapter 2. Why millionaires still feel empty. Many people believe that millionaires are inherently happy. They often enjoy beautiful homes, luxury vehicles, private vacations, and financial security. Yet, despite these advantages, many still experience an unexpected emptiness. Many successful individuals eventually seek something that wealth cannot provide. They search for meaning, purpose, and peace. This is why many wealthy individuals turn to spiritual teachers, philosophers, or Buddhist monks. They do not seek these mentors for financial gain, but because they recognize that money alone cannot address deeper human challenges. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as the hedonic treadmill. For example, when you purchase something new, you initially feel excited. However, after a few weeks, that excitement fades. You may receive a raise. You feel happier. A few months later, it becomes normal. You buy your dream home. Soon it becomes just another house. The brain adapts. Always. That is why chasing happiness through consumption becomes a never-ending race. The finish line keeps moving. No matter how much you achieve, No matter how much you accumulate, the next goal always appears. The next purchase, the next promotion, the next milestone, and yet happiness remains just out of reach. The problem is not money. The problem is believing money is the destination. And when people finally understand this, they begin asking a different question. Instead of asking, "How much money do I need?" they ask, "How much freedom do I want?" That question changes everything. Many people believe that working harder will ultimately lead to greater freedom. Work overtime, take extra shifts, answer emails late at night, skip vacations, delay retirement, keep pushing. The logic seems simple. Work more now, enjoy life later. But what if later never comes? Around the world, millions of people wake up before sunrise and return home after dark. They tell themselves the sacrifice is temporary. Just a few more years, just one more promotion, just one more raise, just one more bonus. But years become decades, and one day, they realize they traded their healthiest years for a future that never arrived. The hidden cost of overwork is not measured in dollars. It is measured in moments. Moments never recovered. Family dinners missed. Children growing up. Friendships neglected. Vacations postponed. Dreams delayed. The most dangerous thing about overwork is that it rarely feels dangerous. It feels responsible. Society applauds it. Employers reward it. Friends admire it. People wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. "I'm busy. I'm swamped. I haven't taken a vacation in years." These statements are often spoken with pride. But being busy and being productive are not the same thing. In Japan, there is a word that reveals how serious this problem has become. Karoshi. It means death from overwork. The term emerged after workers literally began dying from strokes, heart attacks, and stress-related illnesses caused by extreme working hours. Think about that. An entire society needed to create a word to describe people working themselves to death. Yet this phenomenon is not limited to Japan. It exists everywhere. People sacrifice sleep, ignore their health, neglect relationships, push themselves beyond their limits, all in pursuit of a future they may never experience. The irony is difficult to ignore. Many people sacrifice their health to build wealth, then later spend their wealth trying to recover their health. They spend years chasing money, only to discover they were actually chasing time. Researchers have repeatedly found that long working hours increase the risk of serious health problems. Stress accumulates, energy declines, mental focus weakens, relationships suffer. The body eventually sends warnings: fatigue, anxiety, burnout, depression. Unfortunately, many people ignore those warnings. They continue running faster, working longer, pushing harder, until their body makes the decision for them. Burnout does not happen overnight. It arrives quietly. At first, it feels like simple tiredness. Then motivation disappears. Work becomes exhausting. Small tasks feel overwhelming. The passion that once existed slowly fades. The problem is that many people assume burnout is the price of success. It is not. Burnout is often the result of building a life that is out of balance. Money can solve many problems, but it cannot create more hours in a day, cannot replace lost health, cannot restore lost years. This realization changed my view of money. I began asking a different question. Instead of asking, "How much money can I earn?" I started asking, "How much of my life am I giving away to earn it?" That question forced me to think differently. Every dollar has a hidden cost. Time. Every purchase has a hidden cost. Time. Every career decision has a hidden cost. Time. Once you understand this, you begin evaluating life differently. A higher salary is not automatically better. A promotion is not automatically success. A larger house is not automatically wealth. Everything must be measured against the one asset that cannot be replaced: your time. This does not mean work is bad. Work gives purpose. Work develops skills. Work creates opportunities. Work can be deeply meaningful. The goal is not to avoid work. The goal is to avoid becoming a prisoner of work. There is a difference. The financially free person is not necessarily someone who never works. The financially free person is someone who chooses when to work, chooses where to work, chooses why they work. That is a completely different life. The ultimate purpose of money is not to accumulate more possessions. The ultimate purpose of money is to buy back your freedom, to buy back your choices, to buy back your time. Because at the end of life, nobody wishes they had spent more evenings answering emails. Nobody wishes they had attended more meetings. Nobody wishes they had worked more weekends. People wish for more time with family, more time with friends, more time pursuing passions, more time simply living. And that may be the greatest financial lesson of all. The purpose of wealth is not to own more things. The purpose of wealth is to own more of your life. Chapter 4. My journey from dishwasher to time freedom. Before I learned about investing, before I wrote books, before I understood financial freedom, I understood survival. I was born into poverty in El Salvador. My mother worked tirelessly to support 5 children. Money was always scarce. Opportunities were limited. Like millions worldwide, I believed hard work alone would lead to a better future. Then civil war arrived. Violence became part of daily life. Like many others, I eventually made a difficult decision. I left everything behind and headed north in search of opportunity. I arrived in the United States with almost nothing. No wealth, no connections, no special advantages, just hope and a willingness to work. The day after I arrived in Los Angeles, I started working as a dishwasher in a restaurant. The work was exhausting. Each day brought endless piles of dirty dishes, pots, and pans. I stood for hours, worked hard, and earned very little. At the time, I accepted this as the way life worked. I traded time for money, hour after hour, day after day, year after year. I remember watching customers enjoy meals beyond my means. Businessmen, families, professionals. They seemed to live in a different world. One day, I quietly promised myself things would change. Someday I would sit on the other side of the table. Someday I would have choices. At the time, I did not know how that would happen. I only knew I wanted a different future. Over the years, I worked many jobs. Busboy, car jockey, bus driver, driving instructor, gas technician, underground miner. Some jobs paid more than others. Some were harder than others. However, they all had one thing in common. I was still selling my time. The moment I stopped working, the income stopped. That realization later changed my life. For many years, I believed that earning more money was the solution. If I could just make a little more, work a little harder, put in a few more hours, everything would eventually improve. Then life delivered a painful lesson. I suffered workplace injuries. I lost houses, accumulated debt, faced uncertainty. I also experienced some of the most stressful periods of my life. I discovered that even decades of hard work could disappear surprisingly fast. That experience forced me to confront a difficult question. What happens if you can no longer work? What happens if your body cannot continue? What happens if your paycheck disappears? For the first time, I realized I had spent years building income, but I had not built freedom. Recognizing that distinction changed everything. I decided I needed to learn a new skill, not another trade, not another job. I needed to learn how money worked. I began spending countless hours in the public library. While many people spent evenings watching television, I surrounded myself with books. Books about business, books about economics, books about wealth. I read everything I could find. The process was not easy. My formal education ended after grade 8. Many of the concepts were unfamiliar, sometimes confusing, sometimes intimidating. However, I refused to quit. I persisted because I understood something important. My future depended on what I was learning. Slowly, the pieces started coming together. I learned that wealthy people think differently about money. They do not simply work for income. They build assets. They create systems. They own investments. They find ways to make money work for them. Most importantly, they understand leverage. While most people exchange hours for dollars, wealthy people build sources of income that continue to work even when they are not working. That was a completely new idea to me. It soon became an obsession. I started investing, made mistakes, learned lessons, made more mistakes, learned more lessons. Over time, my investments began to grow. Not overnight, not through luck, not through some secret strategy, through patience, discipline, consistency. The same principles that helped me endure difficult times were now helping me build wealth. Eventually, something remarkable happened. The pressure began to disappear. I no longer worried constantly about money. I no longer feared every economic downturn. I no longer depended entirely on a paycheck. For the first time, I experienced something far more valuable than money: time freedom. Today, I wake up without an alarm clock. I can spend time with family, read books, write, travel, explore nature, go kayaking, take photographs, or simply enjoy a quiet day. Not because I am the richest person in the world. Not because I won the lottery. Not because I inherited wealth. Instead, I learned to make money serve my life, rather than letting my life serve money. That is the lesson I wish someone had taught me decades earlier. Financial freedom is not about becoming a billionaire. It is not about owning yachts, private jets, or luxury watches. Financial freedom is about having choices. The choice to spend time with people you love. The choice to pursue meaningful work. The choice to live life on your own terms. The greatest luxury I have ever experienced is not a car, not a house, not a vacation. It is waking up each morning and deciding how I will spend my day. That is time freedom, and it is worth far more than most people realize. Because once you understand the value of your time, you stop chasing money for its own sake. You begin using money for its highest purpose: to own more of your life. I spent years believing that earning more money was the answer. However, I eventually realized something unexpected. Financial freedom is not created by income alone. Many high-income earners still feel financially constrained. In contrast, some individuals with average incomes achieve significant financial freedom. The key difference is not their income level. It is how they manage and use their money. In Part 2, I will share the framework that transformed my approach to financial freedom. You will learn how to calculate your freedom number. You will also discover how to build multiple income streams. You will find out how to gradually reclaim your time. You will see how ordinary people can move from financial stress to financial independence. Understanding money is important. However, understanding freedom is life-changing. Do not stop here. Click on Part 2. Why millionaires go to Buddhist monks to find happiness to continue your journey. The next chapter may change the way you think about money forever. And if you enjoy content that helps ordinary people build wealth, protect their money, and create financial freedom, subscribe to The Illiterate Investor. Because the greatest investment you can make is in your own financial education.